Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the weekly love reading for June 18th through the 24th. When I first sat down and began to prepare to do this video, it was 12:34. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite some time has elapsed. It's now 1:05 because I had some interference going on that prevented me from starting. So I just prayed over the cards. I prayed over, the transmission of the video that you guys all receive in the name of the Father and of the Mother and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So now I'm going to get to it. This week, there's a lot going on. Well, today's Father's Day, right? Today, the 18th, June 18th. Happy Father's Day to, I only wish happy Father's Day to males. No offense to any females who have done, the job of raising their children solely on their own. Much respect to you too, but on Mother's Day from me. On Father's Day, I like to celebrate fathers and the Father. So that's what I'm doing. But happy holidays to all of you and your families. So that's the 18th. Then on the 21st, it's the last day of Gemini. It's the first day of summer. It's the longest day of the year, the longest day of daylight of the year, the summer solstice. What else? The 23rd is the feast day of the Sacred Heart of Jesus Christ. I thought I was going to need like my laptop or something to do this, but it's actually coming to me. And the 24th is not only the birthday of St. John the Baptist, Jesus' cousin, born to Mary's cousin Elizabeth, who was an elderly woman, actually, that became pregnant. So that may apply to some of you out there. And then you don't have to be elderly. Just think of yourself as, if you think of yourself in any way as being incapacitated and infertile, just know that if you're meant to have children, then you'll have them. It's also the feast day of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. It's also the last day of Ramadan and the first day of Eid al-Fitr. The phrase Eid Mubarak, that means blessed celebration. And that's what this is going to be, a celebration of, the ending of Ramadan. And so now we party, right? And that goes on for 3 days. That goes through the 27th of June. But before that, on the 25th, it's the first day of Tammuz. So almost every day this week, there's something going on from a spiritual perspective, a historical perspective, an emotional perspective, some might even say a religious perspective, quote unquote religious. So be aware of all of this. On top of that, other awesomeness that's been going on, every last one of our predictions has come true in the lives of our brothers and sisters and perhaps our own. The reunions, the new, couples. New couples coming together, meeting and then right away just falling for one another, entering some sort of commitment very, very quickly. New cars, new homes, the end of karmic relationships. Unfortunately, still some conflict, a lot of 5 energy and working through some family issues. Some of those family issues being ending the karmic relationships. Maybe the karmic relationship is with a former partner, lover, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, other parent of our child, all of these things. Some of us also having to let go of issues from our own childhood with our own parents. In some cases, even parents with whom we've never met. And maybe of those, for the most part, fathers. Some of us never even knew our father. And that is the cause or the root of some of our problems now. So all of these things going on right now, still working through them, still another week of, or another few days at least, of the full moon. And then we're coming into the new moon. All right. And with that, there's a lot of love in the air too. Reunions, all the stuff continuing, right? So in the general, I won't tell you the positions, but I'll just mention, there was a twin flame card, quote unquote twin flame, the 2 of water, Pan, fertility, the Knight of water, the 2 of wands. I mean, it was just love, 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 love. And that was the general reading. Well, the love reading is not going to disappoint either. I'm beginning with soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Another quote unquote twin flame card. as well as the soul flame card from the Keepers of the Light Oracle. So I'm going to do my cross first, beginning with this hashtag creepy deck and twin flame. Opening to control in reverse. Now there's no reversals in this deck, but I like that it's upside down, and I'm going to leave it like that for now. Twin flame back. Opening to triangle in reverse. See the end of the karmic relationships? We're seeing it before our eyes, being thwarted by these twin flame unions and reunions. Travel in reverse. Interesting. Well, in reverse, the plane looks more like it's going forward as opposed to upright. It looks like maybe we're going backwards. So maybe this is the point here. And this now serving as perhaps the new moon. We're moving toward the new beginnings and the new starts. Twin flame. And opening to friendship. Opposite twin flame. Well, you want your love to be your best friend, or they say they're supposed to. I'll go one more. Work in reverse. I don't really like that. But you know what? From a positive standpoint, what just came to me, maybe it's about not having to work so hard anymore, like simplifying our lives. That just came to me for this week. Simplifying our lives, whatever that means for you. Maybe decluttering. You know, and decluttering can mean a lot of things too. It's sort of like detoxifying. When that card comes up from the Ascended Masters deck, and I say for me, it means any person, place, or thing in your life, not just your food. Coming to freedom. It was actually in reverse, which I also don't like, except for similar to the travel card. It looks like she's moving forward now, although hangman style. Interesting. The overall energy is fair male. And those of you who've seen me before and use this deck know that for me, the fair male tends to be the one that comes through as like the quote unquote like devil energy. The devil card, I mean, in the tarot, like the temptation, the karmic, the ex, fair male. Now, your partner can be a fair male too, and that's fine. This more so represents an energy more than a person for me, in this sense. It can be any type of addiction or anything like that. Okay, the feminine about herself with relation to the union this week as it relates to love. Dating queen. Very nice. She's feeling very beautiful. This is a lot of Venus energy, and she may have more than one suitor that's after her, or she may just feel that good about herself, like she could, you know. And we often look how we feel. You feel good, you end up looking good too. That's the energy of the feminine this week. I love it. Here's a third suitor even, wanting to give her a gift. The masculine about the feminine in relation to the union this week. New love. As I was just saying, relationships, anew and new relationships. People that haven't dated in years coming to me. Queen, you were right. I met this, very beautiful and wonderful, awesome man, woman, whatever they happen to be into. And we're changing our Facebook status to in a relationship, all that kind of stuff. It's really a beautiful thing. Or hearing from somebody. My DM called me. My DM text me or whatever. A lot of that going on. The masculine with relation to him, or with regard to himself in relation to the union, money. He's got his money on his mind and mind his money. And I talked about this in the general, about how I had received the message from the collective higher self of the masculine, where he's in an inner struggle, where he just doesn't feel like he's ever going to be good enough. And it doesn't only relate to money. For some, it is money. But for others, it was like, even he doesn't trust himself in some cases. Like he's always maybe cheated on his men, never managed to be faithful, or never managed to keep a relationship going beyond a certain point. So even if he was faithful, like his relationships always end in, XYZ or whatever, that's one of the fears that can I really give what I want to this woman, this man? Because unlike any other relationship, with this one, it's like if I can't, it's like an all or nothing. If I can't provide what I want to provide, I don't want to do anything. So we're like at a stalemate, which doesn't help any of us, especially since what the feminine tends to want is this, right? The new love or love in general. Like we don't as much care for this. I mean, everybody needs money in order to be able to live here in this 3D plane, sure. But the feminine is more open and willing to like working through some of the difficulties and struggles together and eliminating some, right? Sometimes we can, even in that area, the area of our finances and things and careers, perhaps, simplify our lives, remove costs and debt and wasteful spending and, different things from our life. Maybe moving in together can help. Maybe one of our problems is you're trying to not come forward yet because you're trying to save up, but you're paying rent or you're paying mortgage and I'm paying rent or I'm paying mortgage, and we could move together and pay one, but you're not thinking that way because you want to be the one, you want to be the provider. So just for the masculine to let go of some of this stuff. And if you watch the general, you'll see where that was necessary. And there's still time for some of you who have not, if you're interested, of course, to watch the full moon reading, because a lot of this, stems from there. We got that sort of preview as to how the next 2 weeks were going to be. Okay. The masculine with regard to the union as a whole for this week. True gem. Okay. The relationship is a gem. It's a jewel. It's invaluable. And it's valuable. It's expensive. It's dear. Or it's expensive and dear. That's like a phrase in patois. It's just how very invaluable something is, to someone. Overall, short term, and notice this picture here with the heartbreak. So any of the pain and resentment and hurt and whatever that's remaining, not for much longer. This is almost over, if it's not already for you. Like I said, for some, we've passed this stage. The outcome, friendship. Friendship with our love, though, with a true gem. For some, this is going to be specifically, or for a good bit, this is going to be this week, specifically for Gemini and whomever. Maybe Gemini and an earth sign. A lot of that happening. Or maybe air and earth being represented by these two. All right. What would the masculine have the feminine to do a surrender toward the union, toward her baby steps toward making everything happen? Get rid of the past love, ladies. Cut off those karmics. And we can't do it like for the divine masculine, and we can't do it because of the divine masculine. We have to release these relations, and the same thing goes for them. We have to release these relationships because we want to, because we know it's time, because we know it no longer serves us, and that's what the universe would have us do, and that's what our soul would have us do. That's what our soul's been urging us to do. Whether we've done it or not is sort of beside the point. We need to relinquish this, but the masculine would like you to, even though you can't necessarily do it for him. He'd like you to do it too, because moving toward the union, he knows it's required. He knows it's required of him as well. What is he willing to do on that note, and or surrender toward the union? Fun times. So like maybe, he gets around, as Tupac would say, with it having been Tupac's birthday just 2 days ago. That song, I Get Around. If you don't know, look it up. He says, as a matter of fact, what you mean you don't know? Yeah, look it up. Like that Fat Joe song, Fat Joe with Joe, not Fat Joe. the one that passed away, big pun, with Joe, the singer. I don't want to be a player no more. Like that type of thing. He's willing to relinquish that and commit. But again, for some, there's that fear of, can I? Like, all right, I know I can do it for a year. Can I do it for 2? I know I can do it for 2 years. Can I do it for 3? Can I spend the rest of my life with this man, this woman, you know, and never turn back? Because I don't want to turn back. I don't want to repeat those mistakes that I made in the past. I don't want to cheat on this one. I don't want to cheat on any of them, but I really don't want to cheat on this one. I don't want that kind of hurt for me again. I don't want that kind of hurt for them. What would the universe have the two of us to do or surrender toward the relationship? Get back into your youthful spirit. Let your hair down. See, this woman's... She's of the light, if you ask me, because that's what the red hair represents. But you see how her hair is? It's sort of like she simplified her life. It's like no muss, no fuss. She didn't really do much to it. You know, she didn't press it. She didn't blow it straight. She didn't curl it. It's just fell however it is. She's youthful. She may be even young in some cases. And she's carefree. That's what the universe wants us to be in order to come together. Just let your inhibitions go. Let your hair down. Be free. Shake your arms out. You know, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around if you need to. All right, everybody get a good look at this. Very nice. New love, true gem. Started with twin flame. This fair male, I tell you, those of you who watch me, and for this spread, I'm beginning with soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. I told you the story about the ex that I ran into, and it was like kind of like a dollar store type of place. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves with each other, your bond deepens. We never really had that serious a relationship to begin with. Getting to know each other. I hadn't seen him in over 20 years. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And we bump into each other in this weird place. Well, I figured that was it. I mean, you know, he texted me a couple times. I told him that I wasn't available. That this was months ago. I thought that was it. Why did I bump into him again on my birthday? This is one that I have to sit down and meditate about too. Because I have no interest in him. Like I said, we never really had anything to begin with. It's been over 20 years. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I don't know why the universe has me bump into him again. Except for the fact that he's a fair male. So maybe he was supposed to come through as a temptation, but poor temptation. And God doesn't tempt. So if it was a temptation, it would be the devil. Like I said, this card, it gives me devil energy, as in the devil in the tarot, that kind of tempting energy or restrictive energy, as in an ex or something like that. God is very clear in the scriptures that he doesn't tempt, but that the devil does. So, but if that's who the devil chose, like that's the worst choice. Like, they did a really poor job. That's not going to tempt me. I'm not interested. But I just had to tell you guys, because I know a lot of you, when I say these things and you're like, oh my goodness, you start commenting. Like, I saw this ex from a million years ago too. It all happens at the same time whenever these cards pop up. Anyway, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Getting to know each other. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. The overall energy is heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And I think they're trying to show me reconciliation all the way back here. Yep. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Luckily for me, when that person returned from my past the other day, I didn't know he was there, and he didn't know I was there until he was leaving. I was very thankful about that. The place where I was, it had 2 floors, and I was in the downstairs floor. We got there like 7 o'clock, or at least I did, a few minutes before my friend. And already all the tables on that floor in the back were taken, so I had to go to the bar. And like I said, she arrived maybe 20 minutes later. Upstairs was full. The back was still full. The bar was full. Somebody got up. We hurry up and jumped over there. So because of all that, he didn't know I was there. I didn't know he was there. And it wasn't until he was passing to leave that he saw me, thankfully. Any of you who bump into exes that you don't want to, I wish you an experience, at least as good as mine in that regard, if it has to happen. So yeah, our overall energy is honest, heart-to-heart conversations and honestly discussing everything with one another. Masculine, and yet again, separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Now, for this time, I am feeling that it can be your divine partner, but not because you're splitting up, but because you need a moment, because you are ending certain karmic relationships in your life, romantic or otherwise, and you just need a moment, but you're like going to get right back. And that's not for everybody. That's just where it applies that a separation occurs between the two of you. It's not like a permanent thing. Short term. Remember that other card? Short term. That's what it is. Surrounding the masculine. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. And I feel that in part, that money card from the other spread has to do with this too, with like working. It's about money also, but it also has to do with how he's working on the relationship or working toward it. Similar to this. In the masculine subconscious, deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And it's here in his subconscious. So it could be himself, like not being honest with himself. Feminine. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. So this could be a person in our lives with whom we have to heal something. And since this is love, I'm focusing on love. So not necessarily another family member, although, that could be, if it's affecting your love life, could definitely be an ex, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, other parent of your child or something like that. Surrounding the feminine. Wedding. This situation involves marriage. Some of us getting married too. I didn't mention that when I was going through all the things that have been coming true, but that is among them as well. And with June being the month of marriage, the most popular month to get married, makes sense. Feminine subconscious. Release your ex. Goes perfectly with the crowning card. Some of you are married to that person, which means you're married to both. You're married on the 3D plane, and legally, according to the laws of wherever you live, to this person, this ex. But we still have this marriage. So there's a conflict. So that's where there's like a deception. There's a conflict. Crowning. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. At the root, let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Notice how this sits in between deception and release your ex. Applying to both, of course. And here at the heart of the matter, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. I will pull this next card for the separation to see if we can clarify that. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. So he, again, needs to separate from the feminine in some cases. And he's not going to do it in all. And wherever he does, it's going to be short term. and just know that the connection remains. He's only going because he's got, you know, to handle some business there. Next card is upside down, but let's see if we can get one for the deception. Here's one. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So he could be lying to himself about this, his, like a missed opportunity, like it's too late, I can't go over here, I've blown it, or whatever the case is, or I don't have enough to give, I don't know if I can commit. Like he's going through all these things. And this here, playfulness and deception, would crosses this: keep an open mind, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So this is telling him to just like get out of your head. These two cards together, get out of your head and stop with this worry about differences that you guys may have. You know, one is rich and one is poor, one is Christian, one is Muslim or Jewish, one is whatever. Let all that go. Let the inhibitions go. Let all the, you know, blocks go, because those are self-imposed. There's enough blocks like from the external that we don't need to create some for ourselves. Release the X so that you can reconcile with your partner. Someone from your past is returning to your life, but you got to let this person, and it can be just here like in your mind, you've got too much going on because it's control issues. So like you're holding on to one thing and you're holding on to the other thing too. You want to make room for this. Even in your thoughts, you've got to let this one go to make room for this, even if it's just like in your thoughts. And notice how the reconciliation mirrors the separation. The two of them on the table at the same time, signifying that, you know, it doesn't really exist. And again, where it does, it'll just be a short term, and you know what the reason is. So no need to become upset or anything like that about it. Past life relationship. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So where you're ending an old relationship, like I said, it can't be with the mind of I'm doing this for this, like I'm leaving one for the other. You have to trust, you have to let go of control issues and trust that everything will work out in its time as it's supposed to. Like this is your divine partner, if you believe that. And you got to believe that they're still going to be there after you work out your issues as well. You're not jumping from one to one. You're not waiting for a safety net like, well, I can't leave this one until this one shows up. The universe is not going to allow it to work that way. Instead, it requires trust and faith. You got to just jump out there and, you know, cut your cords and let it happen. Let it fall into place as it's supposed to. All right, let's get some advice now. Putting these cards back in order as they were, and then we'll start with those. From the Angel Therapy deck, we're going to begin with be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Heart chakra. The answer you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. Love has to be able to pass both ways. And in order for that to happen, we do need to be willing to forgive, beginning with ourselves and then the other person too. Heart chakra. Emotional sensitivity. Honor and respect your deep sensitivity as it is a gift to us all. Heart chakra. And one more. Ear chakra. Notice messages that appear as sounds, music, and words from both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. Heart chakra. If you get nervous, focus on service. Put your entire intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. Overall energy is power animal. Your animal spirit guide is a guardian to you and is helping you with this situation. From the Ascended Masters, we're going to begin with freedom. Oh, that's another thing. I didn't mention the 19th, Monday, is Juneteenth. It's the day that the Texas slaves in the United States got their freedom. The rest of the colonies had already approved. It had already happened. The 13th Amendment, quote, Abraham Lincoln had, quote unquote, freed the slaves. I don't really believe that. So I'm doing the air quotes, but he did pass the 13th Amendment. So the slaves have been freed all over, these United States, and Texas hadn't gotten the memo. So they finally did on the 19th of June and released their slaves as well. So I think that energy is going to be surrounding us too, and encouraging us to free ourselves from any toxic situations or circumstances that we have. This can be addictions of any kind, toxic relationships, friendships, relationships of any nature, even business relationships. Your job is something you need to leave. Like, this may be the day you get up that courage to say, like, I quit, especially if it's something that's affecting your love life. Maybe because you're, giving you can't find a balance between work and home life. You're putting in too much and not getting enough back. Maybe you're too far away from your partner. You can work somewhere else. You have an opportunity to move and transfer and get a job closer to them, or, something like that. And we're going to be going for freedom. Opening to persistence. Yes, we've been working hard, but keep it up. And they want us to see retreat into nature as well. And the green man, which means abundance, is coming. Freedom. And lastly, teacher. So lessons learned, experience, not repeating the same mistakes. All the stuff that I was saying in the beginning, the divine masculine did not want to do. He wanted to certainly learn from his experience and not repeat any of the mistakes that he's made in the past relationships that he's had with his divine feminine. And that's why it's been easier to be in another relationship with somebody else that wasn't as heavy, right? That's why he's in his head here. And instead of being heavy, he has to be playful and lighthearted. Those other relationships were easy. They were easy by comparison, at least in his mind. Like, this one is more work because he wants to hold it together. He never wants anything to come between. But it's not going to. There's going to be positive change here, says Parvati. I just pushed down health and healing, and one of the means of those health and healing can be yoga or any other type of meditation for us. Maybe retreat into nature like the green man just suggested. Get out there and commune with Mother Nature. And from the Keepers of the Light Oracle, we're beginning with Radha and Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. Opening to White Eagle, an ancestor spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. And some family wound and pattern type stuff came up in the general, having to do with maybe not wanting to repeat mistakes of our father or even mother. Father in particular, and because this week is, Father's Day falls in this week. It's actually today, again, Sunday the 18th. White Eagle. And opening to Lady Venus. Downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. White Eagle. Holy amethyst, divine alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. So this is law of attraction. And the overall energy is Cernunnos and life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Sex, I did the dice. As a matter of fact, they're still laying here. Well, the only one that I think is still upright is sex. I don't know what happened. But yeah, sex came up. Pan showed up. I told you all those twin flame and love cards showed up. And now in this reading, Cernunnos and this sexual energy as well. The sex dice, I pulled them for the week. So this is an overall energy for the week for us. Combined with this, a lot of people getting together, if you know what I mean, this week. I don't know why I just changed the overall energy, but I did. It's now supreme protection and green Tara. You are protected. Cords are being cut. This is why we needed to see this. Move beyond limitation. Trust. Okay, cords are being cut. Get rid of this old karmic relationship, ladies, and trust. And gentlemen of the feminine persuasion. Okay. Now, our advice from the Keepers of the Light Oracle to the masculine. Kali Ma, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. You can do this. Get out of your head and get in the game. For the feminine, the Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Only love is real. So repeat it to yourself if you have to. Masculine, for you, it's detached from drama. This too came up in the general. So this is about, again, the cutting of the cords, the handling of your business. That's why some of you may need to separate. Just take care of it. We got it. We got this. We understand what you're going through. And we're looking forward to the positive change that results. From the angel therapy cards to the masculine, Archangel Raphael, more heart chakra. The healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work and your love life. And for the feminine, fairies, you have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. Some of us need to get outside. Some of us have a relationship with an earth sign or someone taking on those traits this week. Someone being very compassionate, maybe even generous toward us this week. From the hashtag Creeper Deck to the masculine. Friendship. Okay, this is what you're going to be wanting to work on. This applies to all the relationships. This applies, yes, to your divine feminine, but also to these relationships. When you're detaching from drama, in as often as you can, wherever possible, like choose peace. Like do it in the most compassionate and peaceful way. Just extending forgiveness, letting things go, not harping on anything, you know, releasing any resentment, any pain, any hurt from the past, and starting your life anew, like turning over a new leaf, and maybe even going out again into nature and being around some actual leaves if you have to, if those will help to encourage you and embolden you to leave hostile situations, okay, where they would end instead in friendship, even if you never speak to these people again. Feminine, that past love, the masculine's homework assignment that he gave you, the universe is backing him up on that. Get rid of this person or whatever this energy is, and likely an actual person. It's a block, whatever it is, an addiction, something. It's in your way. It's something that you have to cut, and you know what it is. From the romance angels to you, masculine. Soulmate, with which I started. Yes, this is your soulmate. So no need to like question that, worry about that, fear that anymore. Like, what am I doing here? There's your answer. And lastly, feminine. Aww. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. And also doing your homework. I hope that you guys enjoy the reading and you find it helpful. Happy Father's Day. I'll be back, I guess, to talk to you about, I think I'm probably going to do one reading that covers the period of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the Immaculate Heart of Mary, the new moon, Eid, the celebration of Ramadan ending, and the new month of Tammuz on the Hebrew calendar. Namaste, angels.